What's up guys, Toy Bro here, and we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Thor Ragnarok Wave ARES figure from Hasbro. So this is probably my most anticipated figure in this wave, just because he was previously a Build-A-Figure and I don't have it. So now is a good time to get him. We've got our standard Legends box, we got our humongous ARES figure there with some Build-A-Figure pieces. We've got a shot of ARES on this side. We've got a shot of him and Thor on the back because they share this slot. They are the Warriors of the Nine Realms slot in this way. We got our figures and the Build-A-Figure in the lineup down there on the bottom. And then we've got Thor on the other side. So let's pull this guy out and take a closer look. Alright guys, so here is our ARES figure out of the box. And I gotta say, this is, again, the most anticipated figure in this wave for me outside of the Build-A-Figure. ARES was once a Build-A-Figure. Years back when I didn't really care about Legends, so I don't have that one. There are some differences. I don't know all of them, but I know that there are a few. But other than that, I think he's pretty much the exact same figure for the most part. So we are going to go over this figure and take a look at him. So I'm going to pull this helmet off first. We'll talk about it when we get to sculpt, just so we can do the articulation. So the head can swivel, but I don't know what kind of joint this is because I can't pop this head off. It is on there really tight. I've got some really stiff and some really loose joints on this figure. So it can spin, but he has no range of motion up or down. And honestly, even if he did, there would be nowhere for it to go because the chin is so close because he has such a fat neck. So the arms can go all the way out there on just a peg with a ball joint in there. And then they go all the way around, full range of motion, biceps swivel. My biceps on both arms are relatively loose. The weapons are also relatively heavy as well, so that doesn't help. This shoulder joint is beyond tight. I thought I was going to break the figure trying to get it to move, and it continually pops out of the socket too, which I can work around it. Not a huge thing. I'm not sure if it's just a thing with my figure or if it's a thing in general. So beware on that. The elbows have a single joint, and there's not a lot of motion there, so that's fully extended, and that's as far as they go up. They have side-to-side pegs on, see, look, side-to-side pegs on the wrist, and then rotation. He has a diaphragm joint, so he can swivel all the way around. Got pretty good crunch, honestly. There's nothing at the waist. He has ball-jointed legs. I'm going to pull this dagger out because it gets in the way. Ball-jointed legs, so they go, depending on how you rotate that ball, they go everywhere, which is nice. It's kind of uncommon to see those. Thigh cut at that ball joint. Double-jointed knees, they go up pretty good for a figure of this size. And then he has got a bit of a rocker, and then he's got a hinge at the ankle. Let's get him back in order here. Put the knife back in. So, in general, articulation is pretty good. It's not great, and he's a bigger figure, so we've got kind of a lax joint on the elbow there. And then, of course, I've got some tight and loose joints. So again, that could just be my luck of the draw. I'm not so sure. Haven't seen anybody saying otherwise, so who knows. We'll pop his helmet back on. Now, as far as this sculpt goes, I'm overall pretty pleased with this guy. I think he looks really cool. He is an imposing figure. He is relatively large. He's about 8 inches tall, so that's a bonus. He was a Build-A-Figure, obviously, and he comes with quite a few accessories, so we've got quite a bit to talk about. We've got the breastplate, which wraps around to the back. We've got his kind of leather girdle right there, the leather straps on his wrists. He's got the gauntlet, the bangle on his right wrist there, and then he's got the spikes on his elbows. We have got the sculpted on straps on the leg with the holster for the dagger, and then we've got the kind of knight style knee pad and shin guards that go into these are kind of typical what you think of when you think of a suit of armor, and I think they look really cool with him. This kind of fills out his look overall. And then of course you've got the awesome kind of Centurion style helmet, which is done in a metallic gold with some black paint and a lot of wash in that comb at the top. On the face, he looks kind of demonic, honestly, and I like that look. I believe this is one of the differences from the Build-A-Figure. I want to say the Build-A-Figure did not have white pupils. I think he had actual eyes instead of just kind of cloudy look to the eyes. Overall, though, the head is nice, if not a little small, but I think, when you put the helmet on, he looks really menacing, and it kind of fills out the size. But otherwise, I think the head is a little bit on the small side, and I don't think I'm wrong in that regard. Now, as far as the paint goes, he's got kind of like a smoky look on his face there. We've got metallic blue and then the white in the eyes. We got the painted hair, and then there's paint kind of all over, honestly. There's obviously paint on the helmet. We've got the wash in the comb. We've got the black on there. We've got the skull and the swords on the chest plate, which also has a sculpted ding in it. We've got the black on the straps. We've got black and silver on the back. And on the back, it's pretty not clean, honestly. So where the plastic blends into the actual plastic on the back, you can see they just sort of painted it on there when realistically this shouldn't all be black. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to fuss over it. We've got the black and silver on the gauntlets, and then there's a bit of a wash. This is kind of what they do to make the browns look kind of leathery. So we've seen this on other figures, like Old Man Logan's jacket on Shatterstar's shoulder pad. We've got a tremendous amount of black wash on the knight knee pads and boots, and that same wash is present on the holster for the dagger. So overall, I mean, he's kind of loaded for a figure. I mean, obviously, I'll say it again, he was a Build-A-Figure, so you get a lot. I don't believe, in terms of the Build-A-Figure, that he actually came with all these accessories, though. I don't think he had this axe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I did kind of a cursory look on the old figure. I'm pretty sure he comes with the sword and the dagger, but I don't think he came with the axe. Maybe I just didn't get the right pictures. But as far as the accessories, since we're going to move into that now, we've obviously got 3. 4 if you want to count the helmet. I don't. So we've got this humongous axe. I mean, it's, 2 to 3 inches tall. It's got some silver paint on it. One side is longer than the other, so you know that this is the front side. Very big, very nice. He can hold it in both hands simultaneously as well. And then we've got this humongous executioner-style sword with the metallic silver plastic with gold paint on it, and then the black hilt. Again, it's kind of worn. It's got, cuts and dings in it, and he can also hold it in either hand or simultaneously in both. And then in the dagger, it's basically a smaller version of the sword. He can only hold it in one hand at a time, I believe. I wasn't able to get it in both. It's just too small. So overall, outside of, the weird issues I've had with the joints on this figure, and, like I said, I assume and hope that that's just my problem, I think this is a great figure. He is still my favorite figure in the wave as far as the regular figures go, out of the normal 6 assortment. I'm glad they reissued this guy. I never really cared about him until I realized, hey, I could actually get him now. And I'm glad that they added him to this wave. He's a great addition to the comic book half of this wave, and he's definitely my favorite. So if you can find him, because he's definitely hard to track down right now, I would suggest scooping him up as soon as you can. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share down below. Let me know what you guys think of this figure, and until next time, everyone.